So you want to learn how to play Trickster, huh? So I actually recently got into a little bit of a debate with someone in my comment section on my best classes video, and they basically were saying that Trickster was bad because it's a glass cannon and it has like low max health. But I don't think that matters in this game, especially if you just know how to attack as Trickster. So the basic fundamentals for attacking as Trickster, or even attacking as any rushdown combat class, are opening with basic attacks that have low commitment, using your mobility to dodge things, or just opening with a combat art. So if you want to play it safe, you just open with a combat art, start comboing things, then kill them pretty easily. So this is Fresh Save Maddening. These enemies are like level 200s, or 200, like 130. I'm going to go over some pitfalls with this class though, because there's definitely some things to watch out for. So the first one is never use 2yx. So 2yx, especially when there's a lot of enemies around you, often will get you hit. The reason for this is that it's high commitment. This is the attack. You can't cancel it. So you can see there I actually took some damage from a stupid fodder enemy. But you can't cancel it. It is high commitment. So never do 2yx. The main attacks you want to do, I would say 4yx is okay, 3yx is fine. 3yx you can move and attack, which is decent. 5yx is my favorite attack on this class, because you kind of like maintain high mobility and spike, and kind of like glide through enemies. So there it is. 6yx can be decent. Here, let's pop it off. Kind of like does this big AoE. It can be, it's definitely less commitment than 2yx, but it can still get you hit, so I would say 3, 4, and 5yx are your like safest attacks. That's pretty much it. Like yx is decent, like just basic launcher. You can go for it if you want. Class action is really good to spam. You can use class action and reroute, or like reposition enemies. As you can see here, you're moving and attacking, which means you're a harder target. So just by like doing circular motion while attacking things, using class action, not using 2yx ever, you'll be fine. And then using combat arts if you want to like start spiking things down faster. So pretty good class, pretty good damage output, pretty good mobility while attacking, which is important in my opinion. Some people might disagree. If you're doing like New Game Plus Maddening, it doesn't really matter what you're doing, to be honest. Like if you're doing New Game Plus in general, you're going to be such a high level that it won't matter what you're running. You're just going to be killing things so quickly that you can pretty much just use any tactics you want. If you want to do Fresh Save Hard or Maddening mode though, I would say the classes I listed in the best classes video are really good. Now there are some I missed, like maybe Bow Knight's really good. I haven't played as it. I tend to not want to experiment as much in games when the games aren't that hard. So in the case of this game, because like everything is so crazy and overpowered, it's not very compelling to me to experiment with different classes and builds, because there's no real benefit of doing so if you can just kill things without really setting up a build. So other things to note about Trickster, its only real weakness is spears. This is a huge upside of the class, and this can be negated by just equipping an axe battalion. So as long as you have an axe battalion, you basically have no weaknesses, and you're just like an insane unit. So like, you're also incredibly mobile. It's quite absurd. You can get juggles going pretty easily. But yeah, I think if you're getting hit a lot in this game, you're just not using positioning correctly. So like the one dude that was arguing with me, like, was basically saying that, oh, you'll eventually just get hit as Trickster. But if you're paying attention to the map and you're not like overcommitting, you should almost never be getting hit on this class. Like if you're watching what the enemies are doing and avoiding their attacks, you'll be fine. Just use an A attack because I have to kill 500 units. But Trickster's pretty fun to play. The basic premise of it is that it moves while attacking and it attacks fast. And as long as you don't use 2YX, which is a really high commitment attack that usually gets you hit by a random enemy you're not actively hitting, you should be fine, and you should get pretty good damage off. And you can use cheap combat arts to start juggles and to start combos, so you can see here. And then if you can get a good class action going, you can just push enemies into a corner. This is why this class is good. Like, the class action is insane, and the very cheap combat arts that it can spam are also really good. So like right now I'm using Grounder and Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade is really good because it's a magical attack and it shreds defense. It also prevents enemies from blocking and it being effective. So if you if you damage an enemy and with like dark magic, it prevents, like, their blocking becomes ineffective, and they also take increased damage. Here, let's fight this guy. Alright, I definitely don't have fists. Oh no, Shez has ice. I can spam. I can armor break this pretty easily. But I also use Grounder because, you know, if there's a flyer, it's just good. You can switch Grounder with Flash Strike if you want to counter horses. But in this map, there's a lot of flyers, so Grounder is quite effective. It's very cheap. One thing to know about combat arts is that you're invincible while doing them. So, like, if you use a combat art on an enemy, it can't hit you, and combat arts tend to bounce and launch enemies. So the combination of the bounce, the launch, the interrupt of their actions, the damage, it just all adds up. Here, let's get this dude in here. There you go. Alright, I might as well do an all defensive on this. I just parked my AI up there because I don't trust it yet. It's still pretty low level. But this is like this class is a weakness of mine, right? Like, it's a spear, but it doesn't even list it as a weakness because of my axe battalion. So you basically are a class with no weaknesses, with insane mobility, and as long as you don't overcommit to an attack, you're fine. We're not losing to anyone. Alright, I guess I don't have to kill this beast if I don't want to, but... Who has Edelgard? I have Edelgard. Alright, I'm gonna be Edelgard for a second. Get on me. Cool. Might as well use Crusher. We'll Ice Break with Shez bot. Shez has Frozen Lance, so I can probably get the armor break on ice. Let's get out of there for a second. Edelgard's on, I think, Warrior, just to get Mastery. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Trickster. It's a really good class, really fast, really good damage output. There's really no downside to it. If you know how to avoid getting hit, it's just like an extremely fast attacker that spams things down, and it has no weaknesses, which is nice. Because some of the good classes are like, you know, horse-mounted, or they're flyers. So if you just want something that doesn't care about those things... Alright, yeah, Frozen Lance. Trickster is for you. I said, like, complete my thought there. Alright, let's do this. This might take a second, but... Oh, that... What? That signal thing broke it? Alright. Right on. Alright, we did it. Shez is one of the units that doesn't need a mobility class if you're playing as Shez because of Shadow Slide being so crazy. So Shez can literally be anything, but I like to put Shez on the flyer. At least female Shez. Alright, let's get these guys. Let's actually hit them with attacks, though. I'm like... Oh, that's... Okay. Thought I was locked on with the other guy. We'll beat this guy for fun. Alright, let's hit him with ice. There we go. So I also said Falcon Knight is good and Pegasus Knight, and I believe they are. The ability to juggle things and to move while attacking prevents other things that are attacking you from hitting you. So I still think that that's the case. And I can always use like an A attack on this guy. Secret strategy. But yeah, that's it for this one. If you found this useful or interesting or cool, cool, definitely like and subscribe and drop a comment. Let me know what your favorite offense class is. This game seems to be the case, or it seems to be the case with this game where pretty much everything is viable. It's just an issue of how quickly it becomes viable rather than if it is. So like mages, I think, kind of start out slow, but towards mid and end game, they start to become crazy, for example. But other classes like Cav and Pegasus Knight just start out crazy and then just can just stay crazy. Let's dodge that guy. Oh dang, he dodged me. There we go. Let's get a nice ice on him. Oh, he blocked it. We gotta kill him now. There we go. Get a nice juggle. Mission. No, we failed. No. All right. See ya.